Welcome back to the Sanders Kitchen. I'm Mike, and I am so glad that you came in today to have dinner with us. Today we're going to have beef stroganoff. I hope you're hungry. There's a lot of ingredients here, so let's get started telling you all about it. Okay, we have a beautiful 3-pound chuck roast. We're going to have mushrooms and onions and garlic and salt and pepper, and use some flour for thickening the gravy. We have some Emeril's essence, and I mean, it's going to be a great recipe. So let me show you how I'll prep for this, okay? So we have a nice chuck roast here, and what we're going to do is cut the meat into little slivers. And I'm not a real big fan of all of this fat, so I do want to trim some of the fat off. Some of it will render out. You want to cut them so that each piece will be like a spoonful. And when I get all this cut, we're going to season and come back and we'll start browning them off. We'll be back shortly. We're going to start off with a nice little amount of olive oil. We're going to let that olive oil get real hot before we put the meat in. Okay. The secret is you don't want to overcrowd the pan because you want it to brown. So we're going to do this in sections, a little bit at a time. We're going to leave it for a minute or two, and then we'll turn them over. We'll do this until it's completely finished, until we have done all of the meat, and then we'll let you see what that looks like. Alrighty, it's been about a minute or so. I'm going to flip these over. Do you see the brown that's on that piece of meat? That's really what we're looking for. So that's the reason why we don't want to overcrowd the pan, and we want to wait until the meat is definitely browned up. Do you see the caramelization that's happened? We didn't add any more oil. Only oil we added was in the beginning. The rest of that 3-pound roast went in little pieces, and we just let it have the time to brown, and all of the caramelization that's in there is all going to help make this sauce, this gravy, the wonderful gravy that we're looking forward to. This is the reason why it's important to let the meat brown before you take it out. Well, it's time to make that wonderful gravy for this beef stroganoff. So we're going to start off by going in with about 2 tablespoons of butter. Got to have some butter. And we're going to go in with some onion, as my French chef friend says, onion. I like a lot of onion. And you're going to see all of the fond that's on the bottom of that pot get stuck to the onions. It's all going to deglaze. It's going to be great. By the way, I sure like my spoon, Sarah and Jeff. Thank you so much. Really nice. I think that came from Flirty Girl, right? Because my daughter-in-law works there. They have some nice stuff over there. So these are the little bits and pieces that came off of the stems of the mushrooms. I'm going to put those in, mix those in too. Now this is a long process, so I'm not going to try to rush it. I'm just going to let these onions saute, and we'll put maybe a teaspoon of some magic, blackened steak magic. And we're going to let this saute down until those onions turn brown. I might even help it out a little bit with a little red wine. I'll have all of my ingredients and the amounts in the description. We'll saute this, and when it's where I like it, I'll come back and we'll go on to the next step. Ooh, the onions are looking nice and brown. Look how brown they're looking. That's beautiful. I added a little red wine, some burgundy, just so we could keep the onions cooking. So I want to get those onions all browned off. And in the meantime, I did add the garlic. So we're just going to continue cooking the onions until they're all browned off, and they're getting there. They're close. Be right back. Can you see how brown those onions are? Oh my God. They're beautiful. And that's what it's going to take to make this gravy so sweet and rich. Well, the onions look absolutely beautiful. They're a nice, rich brown color. I think they've sauteed plenty long enough. So we're going to add in some flour and stir that in. I want to stir that flour in until it's all incorporated into those onions and garlic. Okay. Now we're going to go in with our beef stock. A little bit at a time. And we'll stir it in little at a time. Don't pour the whole thing in. And that gravy is coming together. I need y'all to come see what it looks like in this pot. Well, that stock is looking some good. The onions and the garlic are all in there. And we put in a quart of beef stock, but I'm going to put in a little bit more. You know, we actually have quite a bit of meat here. It was a 3-pound roast, or maybe about a 3.5-pound roast. I did take off some fat, so we lost a little weight there, but not much. Well, that looks great. So we're going to add in some parsley, and I'm going to add in my mushrooms, all the chopped mushrooms. And this is going to cook for a couple of hours, so I didn't want my mushrooms to be cut up too fine because they're going to shrink. And then we'll go in with all the wonderful meat that we browned off. We're going to stir that in. You see how much meat we had? It was a lot, so I think I'm going to go ahead and put in a lot more of this other box of beef stock here. And the last thing I'm going to put in before we put it in the oven is some Emeril's essence. I'm going to put in about 2 tablespoons. Can't go wrong with Emeril's essence, I'll tell you. That's some good stuff. And I don't get paid to say that, but I have to admit, it's a great seasoning. Okay. Our beef stroganoff is ready to go in the oven. We'll see you as soon as it comes out of the oven. I hope you're hungry. Let's have some dinner. Our beef stroganoff is out of the oven. It looks wonderful. Smells wonderful. Well, the next step is to put in our sour cream. So we'll take a nice big dollop of sour cream and mix that in. All right. Look at that sour cream going right in there. We'll mix that up nice. Give that a good stir. We'll mix that up well. I'm going to put a little bit more in. Yeah, that's going to look great. That sour cream just gives it a whole different flavor. It's so good. Let's make us a plate and eat. Sounds good. Let's get a little beef stroganoff in this plate right here. Oh man, it looks so good. I've been smelling it for the last 2 hours. By the way, we did test it after 90 minutes. And I kind of really thought the meat needed to go a little longer. So we put it in for another half hour. And the meat is perfect right now. So, and there's a lot of sauce, a lot of gravy. That's what we want to call it. Looks great. Look at that. Put some sour cream on top, and I cannot wait to dig in. Oh boy. Look at that. So that's part of the deal, you know, putting some sour cream right on your plate and mixing it in. So let me go ahead and put a little bit there and give it a try, okay? Well, I know it's going to be good. It's going to be delicious. Okay, the gravy is outstanding. The flavors are slap your mama crazy. And the meat is very tender. So I'm really, really happy with this dish. Well, this was a great dinner. The beef stroganoff is just one of my favorite meals to eat anytime. You can cook it for me anytime you want. If you like our videos, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate that. And hit that notification bell because we want you to come back in our kitchen and cook with us. So we really enjoyed having you here today. Guys, have a great day. God bless you. Come see us again. Let's start that over again. That chicken is, I hope you can see that. Did I just say chicken? That is weird. I'm cooking beef.